Hi, welcome to Texas Lone Wolf, your source for red pill truth. We are going to discuss a story from Reddit, as well as the story videos from another alternative platform that I have collected to share on this broadcast. And I want to say thank you for Assumption Fridays, where people assume stuff and ruin things beyond reversal. So, now, anyways, so I just want to go ahead and do a story. I want to do a story to help you see where we're going at with this. All right? So I'm going to go ahead and bring it back online. I'm gonna bring it over here for you. Now, 28 male, the wife 25 felt ruined our honeymoon. Let's see what happened here. Okay, let me go ahead and read this story. I've gotten this from Reddit. It's going to be a long one. Apologize in advance. My wife and I got married recently this year. This was 17 days ago they posted this, all right? Gorgeous ceremony surrounded by friends and family. We were together 4 years prior. Last year has been monumental stressful for two of us. Both worked wise with wedding planning. However, the day couldn't have been more perfect. It was undoubtedly the absolute best days of our life. Making all the trouble stress more than worth it. So, all right. And, when two people get married, you got to be responsible. All right? You have to be responsible. You got to be a responsible person. Okay, you get my drift? I was making good money, provided both of us. My wife takes care of the financial bills, plans our trips, generally keeps me uplifted when I'm stressed from work. I adore my wife. She's beautiful, smart, extremely well-read. Has shared my sense of humor. When we met, couldn't believe that there was someone wrongfully, goofily weird as I was. I knew early on that she was the one for me. Remember, nobody's one for nobody until you know for certain. We made it through the pandemic together, through distance and time. Never thought anything could sway my feelings for her. Anything can happen. We booked an expensive honeymoon at a tropical location scheduled a few weeks after wedding. She'd been there before, told me she's always wanted to go back. I paid while she, per usual, organized the trip. First few days were amazing. We were not super active on our vacation. We were just happy to drink, go to the beach, whole day, come out, nice dinners, evening. Second, hotels where things took a turn. While out, my wife and I started chatting to a few other couples at a beachside bar restaurant. That's the worst place to meet up. We were like social. We like asking couples about themselves, sharing funny comparisons and including each other in laughs. She was getting a little tipsy. Now, this is where it gets real interesting. When alcohol gets into the picture, things can take a terrible turn. You know why? Alcohol is a spirit, right? It messes with your logic and thinking. It ruins everything that's good for the two couples. All right, let's continue on, shall we? Nothing too bad out of the ordinary. at some point, she began to start slipping into drunk territory. All right, I started ordering more foods, suggesting she take it easy. She obliged. Despite this, she later kept ordering more drinks. I asked her to please take it easy. Because I know her pacing at the stage, she got quite agitated and stated this was her honeymoon, not our honeymoon. Uh-oh, you see that? She wanted to relax while taking some more. She got nosy, more drunk pretty fast. I was talking to the couple on my right. I heard my wife tell the girl next to her that she had a one that got away. Oh, wow. And she wished she hadn't go, that she settled for me. My face, my mouth, my heart, everything dropped. I can't imagine what I looked like in the moment. But the people she was talking to got real quiet and awkward. A couple next to me tried changing the subject. Still, my wife went on. Folks, when your wife starts drinking and drinking and drinking, that's where everything takes a downturn. True colors comes out. And before you know it, it's too late to repair the damage. So while the wife was drunk at the club, all right? Let me read this on. She gestured toward me, began to discuss. I wasn't her type at all. We wanted to describe something entirely different. We both made jokes in the past, not being each other's initial type. Since meeting each other, we were both the type we would never know what we wanted. You went and got married too fast. Now, she becomes somebody different. All right? It wasn't true on her end. She patted my head condescendingly, said, unfortunately, this was the best I could do. But life goes on. She wasn't laughing. She was deadpan. I was absolutely crushed. This seemed like the person I've been with over the last 4 years. I tried to get her to put her drink down and let me pay the check and leave. She outright snapped. The waitress had refused her and asked for another. When she asked for another drink, she stormed off to the bathroom. At the stage, people she was talking to had migrated tables. The couple next to me were trying to reassure me despite the bomb that had gone off. I went to check on her after a few minutes. She turned 20 more minutes, which the wait staff had to go in there and retrieve her. She had been getting sick in the bathroom. She didn't say a word to me. She got out, just grabbed her stuff in the interim. Other people had packed up our check, which I'm incredibly embarrassed about and grateful for. The party was saying happy honeymoon in an awkward, wincing smiles. Not only the woman had a drinking problem, but that alcohol turned her into something else. So, anyways, I left with her feeling uttering dumbstruck, embarrassed, concerned about all, just heartbroken. She spent the entire walk back to the hotel saying she knew I was embarrassed of her behavior, adding, you know what? I don't care. You're an embarrassment most of the time. Women, if you're listening to this video and you spit that out, you will crush the man that you married. You will crush his love for you. You will crush his ego. Remember, you're on borrowed time. Father Time is awaiting at the distance when you hit 3-0. He's awaiting to come in and take what Mother Nature has given you. All right. You know what Mother Nature gave you? She gave you fertility. She gave you glow to draw the hormone Harrys to the yard. She gave the woman everything. She was hot. She was beautiful. Father Time could come and take all that away and say, you owe me. Come on, time to pay up. He's going to take all that away from you. He's going to give you some flaws. He's going to give you crow's feet. He's going to give you gray hair. He's going to make you have a saggy breast. He's going to make you gain weight. When a woman gains weight, her confidence drops. Her ego suffers. Then she files for divorce almost 80 to 90% of the time. All right? Now let's continue on with this here. And she pointed out that I was not funny or charismatic. She said in the past, but a clown, a laughing stock. Our friends put up with me out of nicety. She said they all saw me as a complete joke. I was too stupid to notice. Those right there will destroy a man. Women, before you hit 40s, and all these negative connotations you threw at your man, and you destroyed him, it can't be reversed. I have a challenge for you. You take a hammer and a nail, go hammer it into a board. Then you pull that nail back out. Do you see that hole in the board? It's right there on purpose. It's there to stay until you get rid of that board. There are some things you can do, but it cannot be reversed. This all being screamed at me in front of many people, as you can imagine, being a popular destination spot would have walking around the main town while I was trying to keep her from stumbling out in the street. I turned from embarrassed to upset, completely numb. I reckon so. I thought my marriage had detonated, and then I'm ashamed to say this, but the moment I imagined leaving her as soon as I got back home, ensuing embarrassment having to explain to friends, family that my marriage has not been lasted a season without crumbling. So yes, this woman destroyed her marriage being an alcoholic. She had an alcoholic addiction. All right, we went into a semi-crowded elevator. She squirmed and bolted off and ran back down 3 stories, best connected 45 minutes trying to locate her on hotel premises. We got back to the room. She fell straight to sleep on the bed. I rolled her aside, tucked her in, got her water. We're going to a third drop at the resort the next morning. I stayed up and packed. To say I felt empty inside was a complete understatement. She woke up 2 or 3 hours, asked what had happened, why I looked so upset. I asked if she acted serious. Most devastating part of our relationship, any of the relationship I've been in, it just not happened to her. She just seemed anxious if it were less than half coming back to her. I told her everything she'd done as calmly as I could. I told her how much she had hurt and embarrassed me with what she said. Now here is where the interesting part comes in at. You ever seen a woman scream with emotions and hysterically crying and begging not to leave? Really? So let's go ahead and continue on, shall we? She was hysterical. She started screaming into the pillow, trying to hurt herself. No, she's throwing a tantrum. Screaming that she had ruined our honeymoon and our marriage, begging me not to leave her, telling me that she didn't mean it. Well, first of all, if you didn't mean it, why you get addicted to alcohol? Why you like drinking and drinking and drinking, get so drunk and acting a complete fool? You acted a complete fool in a bunch of friggin' strangers. You, listen, women. If you have an alcoholic addiction, go seek counseling. Go seek help. She refused and gave me it and grabbed my arm. I asked her to let go, scratching me while I told her just let me have my space, screaming all the while. I stopped, got in bed, told her I could not talk to her. We both went to sleep. She woke me up multiple times telling me that we needed to talk about this and that. That I owed her that much. I told her I couldn't. I was shattered. I told her I don't even know if I could finish the rest of the honeymoon. And that I don't know if I can go to the final resort where we're staying at. So, here's the next part of the story right here. Now, women, if you go out and drinking and drinking and drinking and drinking and drinking, get so drunk, you start acting like a complete clown and a fool. Nobody's going to take you serious. Even the man that you marry is not going to take you serious. So, okay, now let's continue on. Woke up the next morning, she had canceled our 5th resort stay where we were due to be at in 6 hours, which I received no refund. She cried, she apologized, she begged for me to hear her out. There was literally nothing that could fix what she had said, how she talked to me after in that moment. She told me that it wasn't her, that she remembered none of it. And she couldn't even begin to think why she had said those things. That was not how she felt and the best thing that could ever happen to her. And that I had to believe her. That everything that we've been through, I asked, why couldn't I trust her after all this time together? Okay? Now, here I'm going to inject my 2 cents. To the women out there that drink and get drunk all the time, remember, actions have consequences. And sometimes consequences are not reversible. Remember what I said about that nail and a hammer and a board? You hammer that nail into the board a little ways and pull it back out, you got a hole in the board. You get mad, you hit that nail with a hammer, you put another hole in the board. You repeat. Before you know, you got so many holes in the board, the only way you're going to start all over fresh, you got to get rid of that board with a bunch of holes in it. That right there, my friend, is where emotions can ruin the best thing that you ever had. So, anyways, so this is getting very long. There's just the details. So, this is getting very long, so I'll put the rest of the trip briefly. She used her savings to pay for a very expensive resort for us that day. Apologized for canceling the other one without asking first. She's guilty. She wanted to save the trip for the rest of the trip, but she was remorseful, kind, and sweet. She was a person I'd fallen in love with. She seemed as shattered and upset as I was, trying to make the most of the rest of our stay, but it was obvious I was still heartbroken, despite trying to keep it together. She cried on the plane home, and she cried most of the day when we got back. Fast forward a couple very awkward, that sad intent. She comes to me and lays out all the change she's going to make. She's always done laundry, didn't really do a lot of cleaning and cooking. In recent months, she would often get agitated when I would start doing it. She promised to do at least most of the household stuff to take the pressure off me. She started dressing up, doing makeup more often. She would cook me fancy dinner, decorate it to show how much she appreciated me in life. She gave me her words, not mine. She said those things she was insecure about not working for herself and a friend and group. How she felt that mutual friends liked me more than her. There's jealousy, my friends, right there. There's jealousy. I don't believe the last part to be true in the slightest. More than half of them were actually her friends because they were mine. Asked about the one that got away, okay, asked how difficult it was, she said she don't know why she said that, but she didn't feel that way. She said that I was her type. I was the only one for her. She would spend long to make it up to me. Now, women, if you're an alcoholic and you have a trouble with drinking and you spurt out words. Remember, you can shoot the arrow, but you cannot take that same arrow back. Your tongue is a two-edged sword. It can create and destroy. What gets destroyed cannot return to back to the former way it was before you destroyed it. The point of the matter is, if you have a drinking problem, go get therapy. Go seek counseling. Get rid of that. Anything that makes you drunk, get rid of it. For your health reason. All right. And also, in addition to what I'm going to add is, she not only put her marriage on the rocks, she ruined the honeymoon. Not only she ruined the honeymoon, her husband looked like a stranger she just married. We see a lot of relationship posts uploaded to TikTok, and one thing I could not stand is that couples cannot seem to fathom the concept of actually communicate each other's situations like this. That's what we did. We communicated. We talked openly, honestly. I told the family and candid about all the changes that I needed. I asked about what I needed to change. Could have made her for content for me in a moment. On our honeymoon, what we both could have avoided. Things to start to pick up for the next few days. Feel like things were going to be okay. There were some lingering things, of course. I wasn't initiating intimacy. I just couldn't. I felt like a complete loser. Felt completely desirable. The woman destroyed her husband right here, for Christ's sake. Questioning how anyone could see anything in me. This is how she felt. She tried on multiple occasions. I just asked her for time to recover. She gave me a space, reassured me she would wait as long as it took for me to feel up to it again. We both had a high sex drive, and that's completely shot. She got drunk and spurted out those words and ruined everything. So, finally, over time, we were intimate. She cooked, cleaned, did sweet things for me, acted like she did when we first met. It really did feel like this whole nightmare might have been a net positive. It felt like it kicked some things that were off in our relationship back into place. Like it was a wake-up call we needed. I still had intrusive thoughts. We communicated on how she could compliment her. She would constantly ask how she was acting. Things she was doing were noticeable. I told her they were. That I appreciated them, tried to be more aware of any flaws. So, then I myself, I am in the day-to-day. Been some weeks since things have started to slip back. Nice dinner stopped almost immediately as nice gesture. She started to become more irritable with small things unrelated to me. She stopped doing household things. Again, irritable when I asked if she can help with them. While I'm working, I don't forget the longest hours by any means. My work week is sometimes 60 to sometimes 70 hours. I found her downstairs playing video games, watching streams, ask her to help is out leading to strange discussion. So, but really, absolutely less noticeably less ready. She had started therapy through BetterHelp. I haven't experienced in that app. Don't know if it's reputable. But that stopped 2 weeks. Had long discussions. Things get better momentarily. They keep resetting like I'm in a state of deja vu with everything again. As I previously stated, I hate that couples can't talk to each other with these kind of posts. So, she'll turn around and still do sweet things. I can't bring myself to look past what happens sometimes. Still eating at me. My confidence, I'm completely fine someday it's just on the floor. So, anyways, so I still loved her. I can't say with confidence that I feel with her anymore. I don't know what to do. Never thought I would see myself on the internet with these posts. She talked to her mother about it. I can't bring myself to tell anything to my parents and friends. I'm so embarrassed I've not been able to confide in anyone about this aside from her. Thank you all for taking the time to read this. Any movement forward would be appreciated. Have a wonderful day, all of you. My drunken wife said she settled for me but still holding a candle for someone else on our honeymoon. Then she said I was a joke. Then he come back and updates with updates right here. Oh my goodness, thank you all for the message no matter what opinions were. I appreciate all of them. I appreciate giving you time and advice. I just woke up sorry and not responding sooner. I wouldn't even expect to turn out in the comments. I would get the story off my chest outside talking to her. In itself, some relief. I see a lot of people writing that my wife married me for the money. I should have added that we got engaged. We did not have much money at all. Sorry for not including it initially. I wrote this around 1 or 2 a.m. My time grammatical error could reflect that without engaged. In the middle of a pandemic, work had dried up my field. We were both banking off my plan to pay off. She believed that I would be successful. I was by no means close to being financially sound when she said marry me. However, that being said, take that from you what you will. Alrighty. So, okay. Now, trying my best to read through all the messages. I'll be honest, they're difficult to process. I acknowledge, appreciate the one telling me to look out for my best interests. But the one that tell me to actually ask my wife about her aspiration or goals, I'm not sure, which cannot be sent around a household task. In the past, been touchy or difficult to get her to pursue the field of her degree. It's creative and daunting. She often got defensive and dismissive of my help in the past. This morning, I asked her to lay out a realistic, specific plan to get back into working, with the goal of working towards a career she actually wants. I don't know. I had never been in therapy. I'm going to look into one of those sessions. I go from there, no matter what outcome after reading this. I clearly need to work on me, whatever it might entail. I'm going away on a trip with some guy friends for a couple of days while our mutual friends, I'm trying to open up to them as non-biased as I can. Thank you for sharing your own past experience so candidly with me and the DMs also. I know that these next steps sound like baby steps and may be frustrating from the end. We're both religious. Divorce is not an option. Anyways, that I want to go down. If I can help, however, you're all right. I can't be miserable for the rest of my life and no effort is made. It's looking like I might have to be a root, but your words have given me a comfort. They haven't restored my self-confidence. They have shown me I have to buck up more direct and not be no malleable. I will update this in coming weeks. Be careful what you say your I do's to, okay? So who wrote this? This is a long post. All right. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and read the response from that honeymoon melody. Now, anyways, Alrighty. So, Saucy Bob Rosie made a comment right here. I fully agree. To be honest, she needs to take some space and think. Is this the relationship for her? In this situation reminds me a lot of how, like I was until 1920. When I started therapy and the more I got better doing DPTH, a group therapy class that focused on understanding, preventing emotional outbursts, among many other wonderful skills. But I know I was very pushy and bad at giving space, specifically when I felt it was my fault for my SO being bad or feeling bad. I realized this indeed. She stated my own insecurities, yes, understanding what the first step. Good on her, but she certainly needs proper mental health care. She may not have anything, anxiety or depression. But she may have overall point. I can tell if she needs therapy from some form. She needs help, otherwise she's hurting others around her like him, and that's inexcusable. Now, you know, women can ruin things with a hidden broken piece in their mental health. So I'm fixing to find his comment, if I can find. But if you say the one that got away, you're going to crush a man's ego in a heartbeat. All right, here you go. The marriage will never last long with this here. The common misconception marriage is 50-50 is absolutely is 100%. Unfortunately, the LP is given 100%. His wife is taking 100%. One is given, the other one's taking. Sure, she's giving back 25%, 30 tops. That's an unbalanced marriage we're talking about. Now, this you got to pay attention to right here. Now, flailing at life 62 sounds like a wise person. So, let's cover this. All right, let's cover this. Where's that? Now, let's cover this. Now, I don't know what I did with this. And this is not love. Like I said, this is not going to be really good because I'm telling you. Now, let's go to another post. I'm now 32 female. When I was 18, I gave 0 Fs about who I said few married men. I'm male online. See, one of the females wrote she ruined a marriage. But she was 18. As of 14 years ago, she's 32 female. She already passed that 30-year mark. She was 18. She gave 0 F's, slept with a few married men. She met online most times. It's not a big deal. But one wife found out, and she filed for divorce. She discovered our emails back and forth, called me sobbing, telling me how this would destroy their marriage and family. I ran into him a few years later, and sure enough, they got divorced. He only sees the kids a few times a week now. After that, I stopped knowingly sleeping with married men. It made it hard for me to pursue my daddy kink at the time. I wasn't willing to be part of ruining another marriage. In other words, she confessed to being a homewrecker. So I said, delete it. So, karma will get her. Remember that. Now, I'm telling you, this is not going to, it takes two to wreck a home. Home wreckers. So, 2 months ago, deleted said, thank you. See how most people only blame the girl. Well, you know what? So, let's not forget. The grass is always going to be greener unless you water your own grass. So, anyways, I'm telling you, when you admit to it, people are going to see you different. The internet never forgets. So, sorry, 788 said this, in quote, "Hey, it takes two to tango." He's right. So I'm gonna just let you know, it doesn't pay to wreck marriages. All right, it doesn't pay to wreck it.
One or two guys that actually
So this
are
is
different.
Kevin Samuels.
They're actually clear. They actually have.
This is Kevin Samuels. So everybody needs to know that Kevin Samuel passed away to a heart attack or something. All right? But his legacy still lives on. So let's see what Kevin Samuel had to say, all right? Now,
two guys that actually are different. They're actually clear. They actually have availability. They're actually who they say they are. They're on the purpose of this to this. These are the very guys you end up wrecking because in order to be with them, they require standards. They require boundaries. They don't want your friends coming over all the time. They don't want to hear about your friends' problems all the time. They don't want to hear about your mama and anybody. No. I don't want to hear about any of that drama. We need to be talking about what's going forward, what's next with us. This meant, but you want to take this dude to be an emotional tampon, and when he says something about it, what do they do? When you say something about it, what do they do? Then they get mad at the guy for saying these people are using you. Your friend is using you, your mama's using you, your dog is using you, your ex is using you. And then they get mad at the dude.
There's an answer you could give to this question that could be devastating to your marriage.
I want it.
Even if it means ruining your marriage.
Yeah.
Question 13. Have you ever regretted marrying your husband? You seem a little shocked, David. Was there anything you want to say? I need your answer. Have you ever regretted marrying your husband?
Yes.
That answer is true.
It would be terrible to walk out of here with no money and a ruined marriage. So, am I reading 14 or are you going to walk out of here with $25,000?
Read 14.
Question 14. For $100,000, would you pose nude in an adult magazine? Lucille, I'm wondering how you would feel if her answer was yes.
I don't believe it will be.
For $100,000, would you pose nude in an adult magazine? I need your answer, yes or no.
No.
That answer is false.
I don't know.
Wow. You know
Angela
what?
Simney, your $25,000 is gone and you're only 2 questions away from $100,000. I hate to see that happen. Why do you think it came up as a lie?
I'd do it for a couple $100,000.
So you would pose nude.
Yeah.
Knew it.
Unfortunately, we say goodbye to you now. I wish your family the best.
Y'all, I think modern women ruin dating, and here's why. Let's get into it. Hookup culture. Women giving their bodies away to men that have not committed to them on any level. They've made relationships transactional, not being realistic. Now the majority of women want the minority of men, using tactics of shame and emasculating men to manipulate them in doing what they want them to do. Some men now are choosing to go their own way, not even trying to date in this modern dating culture. Ain't that a shame? A lot of good men not dating because they don't see value in this modern dating culture.
notice the hookup culture has actually ruined people. It ruined women, it ruined men. Both genders don't have any value at all. None. So what wound up happening is every time when you go out and have sexual intercourse, you're exchanging spirit from your body to the other person's body. And you feed that. You know, it's just like children playing games. They don't know what they're doing until the aftermath. All right? So every time you do it with someone, you're exchanging energy. And it corrupts the person in some way or form. It corrupts the person. Just as those videos I played with Kevin Samuels in the game, host game, then lastly the video showed a woman exposing the modern women attempt to hide the fact that they destroy good men. It happens. Usually when a man says he works and he makes money, oh, that's corny. They're lame. So, now, women, when you get older, don't give this, oh, I was young and dumb excuse. Let me ask you something. You ever go to the store and know it's right from wrong, not to steal candy off the shelf and then walk out not paying for it? Why you had the video camera filming you? Of course not. You knew right from wrong. So when you go call a man who's working and trying to do the honest thing, you call him lame or corny. Hey, he's trying to make something out of his life, you know. Just remember, another woman's trash is another woman's treasure. Don't forget what you just said. But once another good woman picks up a good man, the bets will be off for you. You could have had that man. You could have had him right there. But no, you have to use your. Then you go around with this notion saying beauty lasts forever. No, my friend. Your beauty is temporary. When you're in your late teens, 20s, oh yeah, you got the glow, you got the looks. Man, you could just attract these boys like bam, bam, bam. But what is going to happen when you hit 27, 28, 29, or 30? Ding! There goes the bell. You better hurry up, find you someone to sell with. So what happens to those guys that you friend zone? What happened to them? You know what being friend zone is? It's being in a state of mental prison. You take this guy, oh, I like you as a friend. You put him over here in this one spot. You expect to return to him when you're all damaged, used up. I'm sorry to be harsh on you like this. Someone has got to tell you the red pill truth about the whole matter of dating. This hookup culture ruins women in a sense of devaluing their self-worth. Got another video for you to watch right here.
Women are the biggest romance killers in relationships, and most don't even know it. They wonder, where did the romance go, or why didn't the romance begin? The problem is the lack of appreciation from women to men. Most women tend to focus on the negatives instead of the positives in relationships. Your boyfriend or husband does something nice. They bring you a coffee, they open your door, bring you flowers. Show him your appreciation, say thank you, give him a hug, give him a kiss, tell him that you love him. Don't just expect these things. As much as we want appreciation, men want it too. If he's not being romantic, maybe look inwards and see what it is that you're doing wrong. Because appreciating your man can go such a long way. That's what motivates them to want to do nice things for you. Are you constantly just nagging him and criticizing him instead of appreciating the nice things that he does for you? Are you trying to also fulfill his love language? Are you giving him what he requires in a relationship? Something's very small, like going up to him and giving him a long hug, giving him a massage, doing like cute little things like that, like things that he will appreciate, can go a long way, and that will make him actually want to do nice things for you. So if you're wondering why he's romantic with the next girl and wasn't with you, the problem wasn't him, it was you. Romance isn't one-sided, and it shouldn't just be expected from men. Give them something to work with.
Let me tell you something. Just because you have, the grass is greener on one side, take care of that. Just don't mess with that grass. Don't. Women are actually naturally enemies of each other. All right? By nature. Not by, man-made science or whatever you call it. By nature. And number two, you cannot be best friends with anybody that's the same gender as you. You can't. This here's the competitive kingdom that we live in. Look, if you like that grass is greener on one side, leave it alone. It's not yours. If your grass ain't green, tend to your own yard. In other words, go find out what's wrong in your relationship before you go mess with someone else's relationship and wreck that one. Remember, karma's real. It's not a matter of what, how, or where the karma is going to come from. It's a matter of when. And another thing I'm going to tell you, you got to take care of yourself. Mental health matters. And second of all, peer pressure is the number one killer in relationships. And remember, if you get a female best y'all two, she can't do no wrong. She can say, hey, why don't you break up with him? I'll go set you up with someone else that's cuter than he is. I got a thing for you. What if that cutie is from an ex-inmate from a prison, committed violent crime? Why you want to put your life in his hands? Why you want to go out and mess with another guy? You say, well, I'm going to put that nice guy in a friend zone. Man, friend zone is a mental prison, for crying out loud. It's a mental prison. You see what I'm saying? Now, I'm going to turn this video off. I'm going to play this last video, and then I'm going to conclude it. It's been almost an hour, okay? Now, take note. You don't want to miss this, okay? I'm going to get this video, and I'm going to play this video for you. Here it goes.
Listen, ladies, man, let me help y'all out, man. The two most important things that women do that ruin relationships. Number one, assumptions, right? And I'm going to explain to you why. When women assume things for some fucking reason, they start taking the first step first. If they assume you're cheating on them, guess what? They're going to start talking to the other guy. If they assume you're going to leave them, guess what? They're going to start pulling away. If they assume you don't love them, guess what? They're going to start detaching themselves. Instead of just openly communicating, instead of just having some self-evaluation to realize maybe I'm just insecure and I need to address this, right? This is my problem, not his. Number two, self-sabotage. And what do I mean by self-sabotage? I mean, like, women will allow their insecurities and the way that they feel come off in their behavior. Then that behavior comes onto their boyfriend, and then they don't realize that their boyfriend or the guy they're dating is reacting to how they're acting. And they don't even realize it and then blame the guy when it's you to begin with.
Last thing I want to say, it takes two people to build a relationship. It also takes two to destroy it. Now, I want to say one more thing before I close this video. Anybody who says, you know what, I want to go sleep with this guy, I want to see what it's like. Hey, you're in for a heartbreak. You're in for a terrible surprise. You know that you're in for a terrible, rude awakening. Anyways, that concludes this message. One other thing I'm going to say is, remember the grass is greener on the other side. And the source for Red Pill Truth is right here. It is not watered down. And remember, what you do today will affect the outcome of tomorrow, as I said. Don't forget to smash like and subscribe to this channel for more fresh breaking videos to be dropped. All right, thank you and peace out. And remember, take care of yourself, take care of the other person you're with, and don't screw up your relationship if you're in one. All right? Take care of yourself and be safe.